Hi, my name's Danny Fleming of the MA Properties team. So I'd like to talk to you a little bit about the topic that is raised fairly regularly. I want to price my home higher than the market value. So when it's important to understand a couple of things to answer this one first. Depending on what your market value range is, when you first talk to a listing agent, the listing agent's going to come in and do a market analysis for you. And using their experience, hopefully data, we always provide data, and we spend a long time on a market analysis, probably 10 hours or so on a market analysis, because to me, my purpose or my role is to have you understand what's happening with the market and where your home fits in relation to the market. So we come up with a market value range for you. Now, it's your call 100% as to what price you come on the market at, and we'll do that. But it's important to understand who the buyers are and what the impact of that price that you choose has on those buyers. So depending on your market value range, there's a large number of buyers out there who are looking in that range. They're serious buyers. They've been week after week after week to homes in the range that your home is at. They know what to expect for a home that's in that range. So if you've come on higher than that market value range, higher than your market value range, the buyers know it pretty quickly. They may not even make an appointment to come and see your home because they know that it's overpriced. Or they may come to see your home and they'll dismiss it fairly quickly once they've physically been in there, and you'll only get the one showing from the buyers. Sometimes you'll get two showings, but then the buyers still, there's no urgency for them to make an offer because they're just going to think about it. They're going to think about it. Because what they're doing is they're going away and they're looking and reviewing all of the homes that they've seen in the past and all of the homes that are still on the market now in your price range and trying to decide whether it's worth making an offer on your home. And the challenge we have with that is that the longer your home is on the market, the more the buyers start, the urgency goes out of making a decision for the buyers. What's important to do is get the buyers, by pricing realistically, you get the buyers to come in and look around the home and think, wow, I really like this. This is priced well. I need to make an offer and snap it up before anyone else sees it. When it's overpriced, they're, yeah, I really like this home, but I'd like to do this to the home and I'd like to do that to the home and I'd like to do this to the home, and it's not priced right. And then as time goes by, even if a buyer comes in and they fall in love with the home, which we hope most buyers will, but if they come in and they fall in love with the home and they've only just started looking, so they haven't really seen too many others at that price range, what happens then is that those buyers, if the home had come on the market initially at that price range and they're seeing it in the first weekend, I'm confusing everything here, then they probably would have made an offer on it straight away because they fell in love with it. But now time has gone by and maybe it's been on the market 3 months, and now they're looking around and they're thinking, I really like this home, but nobody else is buying it. What am I missing that everybody else is seeing? So they start questioning whether they like the home because nobody else likes it. Nobody else likes it. So it can be a real challenge once you've lost them to get them back again. Here's a graph. Let me show you a graph that shows what this is. And this graph it shows the impact of the sale price to list price ratio. And I'll explain that again. Let's say a home comes on the market for $1 million and sells for $1 million. That's 100% sale price to list price ratio. If it sells for $900,000, that's a 90% sale price to list price ratio. So if you can see here, here's where the 100 is, and that dotted line is the 100. Now this is real data. This is real data compiled from a few years worth of information in some different towns. But what you can see here is that in the first few days of coming on the market is when we consistently see over market value, over 100% sale price to list price ratio. There's a couple of outliers here. They were new construction where they came on the market, the houses weren't finished, and then as the house has been on the market, the buyers came in and wanted the basement finished or something like that. So they paid more than the asking price because they got more for the home than what it was initially on the market for. They finished other things in the home than what it was initially on the market for. But what you see here is the longer a home is on the market, the trend line is well below the market value range. That's important to see, and let me explain why that happens. So this is something that is a typical thing of what we see with homes that come on the market overpriced. So you've got the FMV. The FMV is this line here. That's fair market value. And this particular instance is showing that the home came on the market up here. No activity, no activity, no activity. Drop the price. Drop the price to here. Still no activity, still no activity. It's still above market value. And again, the buyers know. Drop the price again. It's getting closer to market value now. Still no activity, no activity, no activity. The home is stale, if you like. It's stale. It appears in searches day after day after day for the buyers, and they've dismissed it. They're not even looking at it anymore. They're not even acknowledging that it's on the market because they've already looked at it, dismissed it. And what you see is you finally have to drop the price well below market value just to actually have the buyers pay attention to it again. But what happens then is you've been on the market for 9 months and the buyers want a discount because it's been on the market for so long. The buyers come in with lower offers and you end up selling for well below market value range. Now, sure, this is a graphic. This is a graphic. I can tell you of a story that just happened last year, beginning of 2019. I went to do a market analysis on a home. Shouldn't really tell you about my failures, but hey, I went to do a market analysis on a home, and my job is to be as accurate as possible. I came in with the market analysis and the seller kept talking to me for a couple of weeks after, sort of asking more questions about it and things like this, and that's great. And anyway, they ended up not choosing me to list their home. And when the home came on the market about 10 days later, I knew why they didn't choose me. So what we often see is what we term a bait and switch. Or an agent will promise more than the market the market will bear for the home, and we'll just keep it on the market, having the sign out front, advertises the agent, doesn't sell the house, but it's good for the agent. And or some agents will just sort of not even provide a market analysis and just say to the sellers, what do you want? We'll bring it on the market for whatever you want, without giving them the information. Anyway, this home came on the market for $300,000 over my market value range. So it was pretty obvious that's why they didn't choose me, because someone else promised an awful lot more money. And about 6 months later, they dropped the price in one hit by $220,000. Still no activity. Still no activity. It had no activity whatsoever. And then another 3 months later, they dropped the price another $25,000. No activity. It came off the market in December of last year, unsold, and then came on the market in February of this year. And I'm just trying to do the math in my head. It came on the market for $320,000 less than its initial asking price. Still no activity, because the home became stale. It became stale. The buyers didn't even look at it, didn't even consider the value of the home. It ended up selling 6 months later in July of this year for $400,000 less than it initially came on the market for. But most importantly, it sold for $100,000 less than the market value, than the true market value when it was initially coming on the market. So they lost, by overpricing the home, they lost $100,000. I'm not considering the 300 that was above the market value, because that was pretend money. It didn't exist. The market value range was the market value range. So but by overpricing above the market value range, they ended up selling for $100,000 less than what the market value range was at the time. That's the impact of overpricing, and we see that time and time and time again. It is time and time and time again. So anyway, as you can tell, well, you may not be able to tell, I've got lots and lots of stories about this, but I need to sort of stress it is the seller's decision as to what price they come on the market for, because it's your house. All we can do is provide you the data, provide you the information, provide you the market analysis, and an explanation of what's going on in the market at the moment, and it's still your call as to what price to come on at. We will give a recommendation. You don't have to take it. But hopefully explaining what the impact of overpricing, don't get swayed by agents that come in and promise you more than what the data shows, because it will impact what your final price is for the home. So anyway, look, I'd love to talk more about this. If you'd like to discuss this further, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'd love to come over and do a market analysis at your home. That's easy. I do that for folks, even if they're not thinking of selling in a couple of years. It's just knowing how much your home is worth in today's market. And then when we do end up selling, then we'll just update it then. But anyway, look, if you want more information,